Hello, and well, this is another update for the Royal Mint. I did a big long one, 47 minutes it was, and it did half cover some stuff last week. And I tried to put everything in layman's terms so that we could all get it easy peasy. So between doing that, I've now had a response to my letter to them about the reminting and the backdating of the Puddleduck. So this is what they say, and I'm going to read part of the letter. So I'll stop and whatever, but I'll read part of the letter. So it says, the Royal Mint struck Beatrix Potter Jemima Puddleduck coins in 2016, and due to continued high demand, minted additional brilliant uncirculated coins until 2018. The mintage figures for this coin have now been set, and no additional coins with this design and year date will be struck. As brilliant uncirculated coins are unlimited, the Royal Mint is able to strike additional coins within a reasonable time period, and this is dealt with on a case-by-case basis. Obviously, the Royal Mint is not required to make disclosure of its future plans, as to do so would clearly prejudice its commercial interest. But otherwise, I trust this addresses points 1, 2, 6 to 9 in your letter, and we can also confirm no in respect of your point 10. Well, points 1 and 2 was me asking them to confirm that they did reissue and remint the Puddleducks, and that they didn't put any identifying marks. And my question was, the Royal Mint backdated the Puddleduck 50p coin minted in 2018 to its original date of 2016 with no identifying marks to show it was actually minted in 2018. So they've said that to that. 1, 2, 6 to 9. Well, 6 was, will the Royal Mint remint them again in the future? So they've said no to that. If so, who will they sell them to? And they're refusing to do that. Saying that, and 9 was, have the Royal, 8 was have the Royal Mint reminted and backdated any other coin at any time in its past. And have the Royal Mint any plans to remint and backdate any other coin? It's not exactly answering, have the Royal Mint reminted and backdated any other coin at any time in its past, and it says, to answer that, make disclosure of its future plans would prejudice its commercial interests, but otherwise this addresses points, so it didn't address that point of have they reminted any other coin like that in its past. He sidestepped that one. And the question 10, have there been any plans made, conversations had, or deals done in respect of reminting the 2009 Kew Gardens 50p and backdating it to 2009? And he said that we can confirm no in respect of your point 10. So they won't remint. So all of this starting to get really, really, really confusing, even to try and put it in layman's terms. So what they're saying in this particular letter is that as far as Puddleduck is concerned, my question was, did you remint it in 2018 and did you backdate it and put 2016 date on it? Their answer to that is, not only did we mint it in 2016 and 2018, but we minted it from 2016 to 2018. Well, I think that's a little sort of spot the deliberate mistake there. I mean, so they minted the Puddleduck in 2016 and 2017 and 2018. That's exactly what he's saying here. We minted it through them. Yeah. The Royal Mint struck Beatrix Potter Jemima Puddleduck coins in 2016. And due to continued high demand, minted additional brilliant uncirculated coins until 2018. So they did it throughout, 16, 17 and 18. Some people have actually left a few comments, and that got me a little bit worried in how I put it across to you before, because a couple of you have left comments almost intimating like, oh, my Puddleducks are worthless now. No, they're not worthless. To get an ideal selling price of the current market value, all you've got to do is go on eBay, have a look. Don't just look at the price people are selling them for, but on the left hand side, look all the way down the menu and click the box that says sold items, and that will show you the prices it actually sold for and the dates and recently. So you can actually see what a normal circulated version of Puddleduck sells for. You can see what a normal uncirculated version of Puddleduck sells for. You can see what a Royal Mint version or a change checker version of Puddleduck sells for. So I don't think that you've lost money on your Puddleducks. Well, I do actually. I do think you've lost money. I don't think you're going to lose money on what you paid for the Puddleduck. So if you bought Puddleducks at £8 each or £10 each, are you going to lose money? I don't think so. I think it will take longer for you to earn the interest, to earn your profit on the coin, because they ended up making thousands and thousands more. Now I can say thousands and thousands more because the one thing logically with common sense that we know is that the likes of Change Checker and the Royal Mint have not done a little deal for 500 coins. Let's be sensible about this. If they've done a little deal, they've done a deal for like 5,000 coins or 10,000 coins. It would be at least 10,000 coins. I can't see that it would be a smaller amount than that. So what all this means is for the Puddleduck is that whereas in 2018 the price had already gone to like £8, 8 to 10 quid, and now 2019 your price would have soared more than what it is now. So whatever the price is now, it would be more than that. That's the damage it's made. So that would be a more expensive coin. And this is a Puddleduck with 1.8 million, 2.1 million. I keep getting confused because I always think it's the lowest one. It's not. Isaac Newton is rarer than Puddleduck by 300,000. Isaac Newton is 1.8 million. Puddleduck is 2.1 million. So if you want a rare coin, you know, put your money into Isaac Newton. Or even the 2017 Shield is rarer than Puddleduck by 300,000. And that means that whatever price you can get those shields for now, they're worth putting away. They're going to be valuable in years to come because they only made 1.8 million of the 2017 Shield 50p. Now you can't argue with that. You can't argue with the mintage figures. It will never be worth as much money as the Isaac Newton, which is exactly the same price, exactly the same mintage figure. I mean, it will never be worth exactly the same money. The Isaac Newton's probably selling for 7, 8 quid at the moment, whereas the Shield is selling for probably 2 or 3 quid, and yet the Shield is exactly the same mintage as Isaac Newton. So, you know, that tells you that that's worth putting your money into from an investment point of view. Anybody out there that comes across a 2017 Shield in their change, put it away, because, you know, you're talking about putting away 5 to 10 quid, in my opinion. More later. But, point is, they minted 2.1 million, right? And due to continued high demand. So where does that come from then? I'm interested in that. Due to continued high demand. So what are you trying to tell me? You're trying to tell me that there's more demand for the Puddleduck than what there is for, say, the Snowman. Do you reckon the Snowman's going to have a lot of demand? So any coin, due to continued high demand, any coin that's got a high demand, they will make extra of them, just to fleece the market. And the bit I can't sort of, it niggles, that little bit's niggling me, you see. Continued high demand. Where's that from then? That from you? From me? No, not from me. Where can that be from? Where is the information of the continued high demand? Where did I get that information from? Who dictates continued high demand? Or are we living in an era where we're just going to blame the computer? The computer says it's high demand, so therefore it's high demand, and everybody mints it, and no one makes that responsible decision. Can't be. It's the mint. So someone somewhere has to sit down physically, a person, and authorise it and say yes, due to continued high demand. I like that. So, and I don't like it. So I think high demand by one person and one person only, 288 Group. The only high demand came from 288 Group. It didn't come from anyone else. because they didn't even tell you they were doing it. They didn't make it public. It was all done in secret. And if it's because of continued high demand, why do you need to do it all in secret? Why do you need to not tell people, well, you've all demanded this, because you want it, we're going to make more? Isn't that the way it normally goes? Or does it go, they all want it, quick, we'll make a load more. We won't tell anybody though. No. We won't let the people that are demanding it know that we're going to make more. No, we won't do that. We'll just make more, keep it quiet, and off it to one person. That's what's happened there. Now, with regard to point 5, the Royal Mint collates and publishes its mintage figures, i.e. sales less returns, for commemorative coin by type as opposed to period of manufacture. And this information for the coin in question is readily accessible on the Royal Mint website at www.royalmint.com. Thanks for that. Don't give me a / and an exact address where I can go and find that page, will you? Just tell me I've got to go on to the royalmint.com website and spend hours looking for it. Finally, on points 3 and 4 of your letter, the Royal Mint has legal agreements in place. Now, I like this bit. Which govern sales to third parties. They're talking about here, they're wholesalers that I'm asking them for access to. I'm asking them to prove who they're selling it to. We can't do that, they say. Now, which one was it? 3 and 4. The number of reminted Puddleduck 50p coins backdated to 2016 that was sold to 288 Group. Apparently that's highly confidential, top secret that is. Who else the Royal Mint sold the same backdated and reminted Puddleduck 50p to? Or did the Royal Mint only sell these coins to 288 Group? Top secret that is. Finally, on points 3 and 4 of your letter, the Royal Mint has legal agreements in place which govern sales to third parties, which will include robust confidentiality clauses. Now, out of those two questions, the number of reminted coins that were sold to 288 Group, that one, unless that is public information, I guess you, if you're watching Royal Mint, can refuse to give me that information. Who else the Royal Mint sold the same backdated and reminted Puddleduck to? Or did it only sell it to 288 Group? Now, to stick that in confidentiality means that you're really trying to make an arse out of me, and you're really just blatantly trying to just waffle me with total bullshit and think that I'm going to swallow it. I'm not going to swallow that. Tell me a wholesaler anywhere that does not want to sell its product. Is there a wholesaler anywhere, do you think, in your mind, that is going to be thinking, yes, quite right, Royal Mint, yes, I don't want you giving out my details to willy-nilly, to whoever. Yes, people that go and spend £50,000 or £100,000 on these coins, on coins that I want to sell, yeah, don't you tell them about me. Do you really think a distributor, a wholesaler is going to be like that? Or do you think a distributor or a wholesaler would be, what? You've refused to give my details out, you bastards? How dare you? How dare you refuse to give my details out? I'm buying your product, I'm selling it, and you're refusing to tell a retailer where he can come to me and buy the product. Do you think that's more, move the camera. Do you think that's more likely to happen? I think that's more likely to happen. I think it's more likely that a wholesaler, a genuine wholesaler, is likely to be very angry indeed that the Royal Mint is saying that because of confidentiality and because of certain contractual clauses, the Royal Mint can't tell me who those wholesalers are that are stocking that product. Can you imagine contacting, if you were a sweet shop, can you imagine contacting Mars and saying, hey Mars, I want to sell your Mars bars and your other chocolates. Can you please tell me who you're selling them to so I can go to them and buy them? And can you imagine Mars going, no, we ain't going to tell you. It's confidentiality, mate. Confidentiality. We can't tell you who we sell them to because they won't want you buying off them. I mean, can you imagine how in any comprehension. Does that make sense? So they're just constantly covering up, and it's one of those things where you tell one white lie, and when you get caught out in that white lie, you don't put your hand up and go, oh, sorry about that. You don't do that. What you do is you cover it up with another white lie and another one and another one, until the white lies suddenly stop becoming white lies and become dirty, great big black lies, or underlined lies, or whatever colour you give them, or whatever happens when they get worse and worse and worse and worse. So that's all that's happening here. So there we are. So there's the update just on the Puddleduck. So essentially, what the Royal Mint are saying is they can remint any coin. They can remint it for as long as they want. They don't have to ask anybody. They don't have to tell anybody, and they don't have to tell anybody who they're selling them to. And they can do it within a reasonable time frame. And according to the Mint, 2 years is a reasonable time frame. So what is not a reasonable time frame? I'd like to know. Is it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? What is not a reasonable time frame? Where is the line drawn? And who is it that made that line? Who has decided? There must be a date. It can't just be willy-nilly. Somewhere along the line, a person, a meeting of people have had to decide, after X amount of time, we don't mint coins because it's not reasonable. But according to this, it's whatever reasonable is whatever they decide it to be. And they will mint as many as they decide to mint, and they don't have to tell anybody how many they made, and they can hide behind that, as they do, blatantly, full on. That's the bit that gets me. Full on. It's like, yeah, we are doing this and we don't care because we're the Mint and we can do whatever we want. And I don't think they can. I think they've dropped a bollock. I think that you can't backdate anything. I've been thinking about this non-stop, and I don't think that you can really backdate anything. Somebody please leave a comment on the video to let me know what you can legally backdate. Now, the only thing that I can figure out that you can legally backdate is a claim of some description, whether that's missold insurance, missold banking stuff, missold this, missold that, a claim against the government, a claim against suing somebody, a claim against whatever, a claim against your housing benefit or whatever. The only thing you can backdate is a claim, and even then you can only backdate it so far. Even the government won't backdate no more than 3 or 6 months. So it means that unless there's something I'm not thinking about, coins are the only thing in this country that you can legally backdate, and I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second, because that's such a dangerous game to play. Really, really dangerous game to play. I mean, demand, unusually high demand for Puddleduck. So again, like I said earlier on, makes a mockery out of all the 24 non-released coins, because there's going to be an unusually high demand. There's going to be an unusually high demand for the A to Z 10p's and the 2019 A to Z 10p's. Of course there's going to be an unusually high demand because they haven't released many into circulation. And so because there's an unusually high demand, they can just keep reminting them and reminting them and remaking them for several years. So if you think that that's all wrong, sorry it's gone on and I've waffled. If you think it's all wrong, then join us, because we're trying to do something about it. I've been looking at some crowdfunding things, and I found one where because a few people have said to me I wouldn't mind putting in a little bit every month, just a small amount every month. Well, I found a crowdfunding place where you can do that. You can set it up and people can set up to pay a couple of quid a month if they want. So I'm going to have a look at that. But anyway, if you want to put in, you're looking for the investments category, and you click on the investments category and you'll see the listing for the Suing the Royal Mint. So it's going to be interesting to see what their response is going to be to my next couple of letters, because I just sent a couple of letters off that were really, really strong. I mean, in relation to Chris Inson, for example, I think I started off the letter by you are either the laziest head of legal I've ever had the unfortunate thingy of talking to, or the most useless, because you're not answering the questions you're paid to answer. Paid to go into work and answer these questions. You're going into work, putting your feet up on the desk and deciding you're not going to bother working. They don't want to, and they're hiding left, right and centre behind all these words and wordplay and everything else. No one's coming out of a straight answer. And I always think, well, when people are like that, if you've got nothing to hide, you don't hide anything. Anyway, that's it. www.thegreatbritishcoinhunt.com. I've waffled on for enough. This is just an update regarding the Puddleduck 2016 coin, which has been reminted in its thousands and thousands, and minted throughout 2017 and 2018, and the only place we can find that they've sold them to is 288 Group, but they won't confirm that because they say under confidentiality that they're not allowed to tell us the name and address of any other wholesaler. Load of old toffee. So there you go. Thanks very much, and I'll see you on the next one, and we'll see what kind of a giggle we have with the next letters.